Hey everybody, this is Keith Saarloos, and you are listening to Chopping It Up on Crazy Country 105.9. Sorry to interrupt your regularly scheduled music, but every week at 10 a.m., we sit down with someone from the Valley, someone I want to talk to, someone I want to learn a little bit more about. And this week, we have a very special guest who's been a friend of mine for a very long time. But this Valley is full of people who do solitary things. There's people that get up in the morning, walk out into a field, work all day, maybe come in contact with one, maybe two people all day long. There's people who compose music that win awards. There's people that have written movies and books and everything, and they're working almost by themselves all the time. And today we're going to have one of those people, and this is my buddy, Adrian Kays. How are you doing, Adrian?
Good to be on the show.
Oh, thank you very much. And by show, you mean all the people that are actually sitting in their cars on their driveway listening to this, because one of the things we've learned about this show is nobody has a radio in their house anymore. So anybody who's listening to this is like 99% of the people are sitting in their car listening to it.
Well, what's up, y'all?
So, Adrian, we've been buddies for a long time. We are part of the Golf is Dumb crew over at the ranch course, so you can find us out there. But you and I were having a conversation last week, and I go, dude, we got to have you on the show because you told a really great story about what you do. So let's get into it a little bit. So how long? What do you do, Adrian, on a daily basis? What did you do this morning? You walked 20 feet from your house into your cabin and got to work doing what?
I'm a trailer editor, so I work in the movie marketing business in Los Angeles, California.
And so some 16-year-old kid's listening to this right now and loves movies, loves watching movies. How did you find yourself? Where did you start? How did you find this valley? And how did you find yourself in making trailers or cutting them together to get me, Keith Saarloos, sitting on the couch to want to get up off the couch and drive to a movie theater and go see a movie?
Well, I grew up in Athens, Georgia, and I always loved movies. Movies are something I always wanted to be a part of. And after college, I just got in my car and I drove out. And I had a buddy that was working for Stephen Cannell.
Hold on. You're in Athens, Georgia. You graduate from college. You said to your parents, I'm going to go make movies.
For the summer, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just got in my car and drove
What kind of car?
Old FJ Toyota Land Cruiser, 87.
You drove that coast to coast?
Yeah, 200,000 miles on it, 4 gears, super slow.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a story into itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made it to Hollywood. You see the sign. Did you have that like moment where you see like the Hollywood sign? You're like, oh, I'm here.
It wasn't the Hollywood sign, but I did have a moment. I pulled into Santa Monica and saw Santa Maria, the statue there, right in the heart of Santa Monica on the bluffs, with the ocean behind it. And I thought to myself, man, what am I going to tell my parents? I'm never going home. Literally that second.
That day
I pulled in the first day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get from here? How did you get here from there?
How did I get to the valley?
No, how did you follow?
Oh.
I mean, you're watching movies and you go, I want to be a part of this somehow, right?
Yeah, so that's a pretty long and winding path, but I'll tell you.
We got 30 minutes.
The nuts and bolts of it. Everybody who goes out to LA works for free as a PA or something. And I sent my resume out to 1 million people and ended up getting a job working for free as a PA on this movie called Dumped, and the director was Oliver Robbins. He was the little kid in Poltergeist.
No. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And the lead on this film was Dana Barron. She was the girl in Vacation. And so I was like, yeah, this is awesome. It's LA. Anything could happen. And I worked for free. And then like a month into it, this lighting guy handed me a piece of paper and said, I can't make my job tomorrow. Show up to this address. If you want to make money, this is a paying gig. I show up, some nervous lady throws me behind a desk and says, don't say anything, just answer phones. And 5 minutes later, Warren Beatty walks through the office with his kids and Annette Bening, and I was like, a month into LA.
Right. Unbelievable.
And so my whole thing was, you just kind of put yourself out there and good things will happen.
You saying that actually, that resonates pretty much with your entire life. Like you are one of the most positive people like I've ever met. Just
Thanks.
as a friend.
Thank you.
Well, it's like with golfing together, one of our little things in our group is like what I didn't know was weird, right? Is that we all cheer for each other.
Yeah.
And you are the gimme king, right? It's like, oh, you're within 10 feet. It's like,
Well, when you have a judge in the crew, you have to be a gimme king.
That's true. That's true. So you're going to the studio. Did you like drive onto a lot? Like, did you go into like what movie studio were you working for at this point?
This was Warren Beatty's office at the top of Beverly Glen, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And I worked there for like 2 months, actually making some money, and that just segued into another job. And before I knew it, I was assistant editing, and then editing at a company called Imaginary Forces that did main titles for films. They did Seven and Donnie Brasco and a bunch of really cool things. The owner of that company is Kyle Cooper. He was a really cool guy.
So how did you make the jump from answering the phones to cutting together, or what's the process in cutting together a trailer?
Let me think. You just kind of work your way up, and you try not to be too good at sweeping the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And hard work. Just a lot of 20-hour days, sleeping at work. And when somebody's looking for an editor and no one's in the building, you're there, and they're like, hey, I know you don't cut, but can you just get on the machine and do this? And all of a sudden they see you as an editor, and it kind of progresses from there.
Were you cutting actual film, or were you digital?
Everything was film on Avid in the beginning. And no, I wasn't splicing together film. I learned how to do that. But it was pretty much as I learned to edit, it was on Avid.
So what was your first trailer that you cut for a movie that you sat back and you got to see it on, on TV? I mean, that's kind of a weird way to put it, because you're making a mini movie of a movie to entice an audience sitting at home to get up and go out and spend some money and get a babysitter and go out to dinner and this, that, or the other. I mean, I think one of the biggest things, like in our valley, and I've said it a million times, and I tried to buy it, but it's like I love the Park Place movie theater. I would rent it out just to watch movies I wanted to watch, right? And that ritual, I think, is a good way to put it. Like I remember how many dates, first date was let's go to dinner and a movie. Right.
Yeah,
it was
just
just
magic, man.
It's part of Americana. You go, you can spend, $15 or whatever it was at the time, and go sit somewhere, lights come down, and you get to be transported to a totally different place, right? And see a story and lose track of time. And one of my favorite feelings in the world, and I remember it as a kid, right, was watching a movie and being so immersed into watching the movie that I didn't realize anything else in the world was going on. And for you to cut together, a trailer, how does that start? Do they send you the final movie? Do they send you pieces of it? What direction do they give you? Or do you just run on your own? How does it work?
Well, to answer your first question, the first trailer I finished and saw in the theater, was Jet Li Fearless.
Really?
Yeah, and I went to see it and watch the audience. You get to sit back, the thing frame by frame, but you get to sit back for the first time and watch the audience respond to your trailer. Sometimes they clap, sometimes they lean back in their seat, so it's real visceral. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But a lot of times the film is finished and they send you the finished film, and you have to kind of work with a creative director and a producer, and you guys kind of figure out how to market the film.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's straightforward. A lot of times it's not, You really have to get a strategy and decide on a direction and go for it. And try to be original and try to be confident with it.
So if you're listening right now, you're usually on Crazy Country, you're hearing music. But today on Chopping It Up with Keith Saarloos and Adrian Kays, we are talking to Adrian about cutting together movie trailers, which he lives in the Valley. He's been in the Valley for a very long time here. One of the things that I wanted to ask you that I've never asked you before is, like, the magic of a trailer is exciting. Like you get a bit of the movie, just enough, right? The answer as a person who wants to go see the movie, what I want to see is enough to make me want to go, and then I don't want to see anymore. So many times I've watched a trailer where it's like they gave it away, So At what point when they're having these conversations, right? Does someone say, you need to hold back on this. We don't want to give this away. Or sometimes do they say give away the punchline of the whole movie? Or how does that work? Because sometimes I won't say I'm disappointed, but I feel like I've already seen the movie before I've gone in. So where is that fine line?
It depends on the film. Every film is different. Some studios will market a film with total confidence and not show anything and make it like, what is this?
What would be an example of that?
Longlegs. I just worked on that campaign, and we didn't tell any story in that. It was just cool, freaky imagery, and people were hooked from the beginning. That movie was incredible, and it was amazing to work on it. But other things are, comedies. You want to hit them with your best jokes, or they're not going to buy the ticket.
Sure.
And there's a fine line. So you don't want to show everything, but you really want to show your best stuff if you want people to show up to the theater or push the order button on your TV.
Right.
I mean, it is a fine line. People might not, if you don't give them enough story and substance, people won't go see it.
So you brought up like the hit the buy now button, right? Yeah. And last week on the show, we had Carlisle Eubank, who just did a movie called Broke, which is, I watched the whole thing and it was awesome. And so if anybody's out there listening to this, go rent it, go buy it. And right there, when I heard about the movie, I went like almost on my phone, of course, to like Apple TV. And I was ready to pre-buy it, right? And it's like, nope.
You got to watch the trailer, man.
You got to watch the trailer, right?
Do I want to buy this thing? Let me look at the trailer. And that's what it is. Right
that's
there.
Exactly it, right? And then I'm like, bye. I'm locked in. I'm watching this movie. So you shared a fun story with me about a movie that everybody's seen, everybody loves, that you got a cut of this movie. And I'm not spoiling. I'm just pitching the trailer right now. Yeah. And you saw this movie ahead of time. They cut a trailer that was not selling the movie the way it should. So tell us the story.
What movie were we talking about?
You know which movie. The one with the dog.
Oh, okay. John Wick. Yeah, I cut the John Wick trailer. That was really...
Okay, full stop, dude. That is so amazing, right?
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So what was the trailer like before?
Well, I'll tell you what was kind of happening.
Yeah, sure.
We were in a company meeting, and there was word of whether we were going to cut the trailer or not. We'd been working on it.
Yep. You just got to get a little closer to that.
Sorry. And they weren't sure if we were going to cut a trailer, and they didn't have much time, and there was a lot of kind of panic around the film because they needed to borrow money. I think Eva Longoria had given them a bunch of money to finish it.
Gave her like $6 million.
Yeah.
And she's like, the best investment I've ever made in my life.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they were pretty nervous, from what I understand now after the fact, about the dog getting killed and some other aspects. And I watched the movie, and I immediately was like, this movie is awesome. They did two things that you should never do.
Okay.
Kill a man's dog and steal his car.
Got that right.
We're putting that in the trailer.
By the way, that's the whole movie, right? It's
Yeah.
like, why would this guy go on just an absolute murder spree?
Yeah.
And it's like, they killed my dog.
You got to set that up, and I don't believe they were doing that in the beginning, so there wasn't enough meat on the bone for people to really get interested. And the second we did it kind of changed the game.
Yeah.
And some guys at Lionsgate were really smart. They're like, let's wait till the latest point in the trailer to show he's this badass. And we kind of pushed it into the back. And
you launched a franchise, my man.
Yeah, well, the movie was amazing, and I was a little tiny part of it, but it still one of my favorite trailers I've ever cut.
But if you think about that, like, we've all gone and saw a movie and go, why hasn't everybody seen this thing? Yeah. Right. And maybe it's like you're saying, it's like they didn't market it correctly. They didn't tease enough. Right. It's kind of like you want to show enough skin, but not too much. And you want people to go, oh, I'm all in on that. Because now, I mean, there's 4 John Wicks now. There's another one on the way. There's a show called was it the Carlisle or the hotel he stays in?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's an entire universe at this point. And it's all because you threw the dog in the trailer, which is absolutely amazing.
That was really fun.
So, Adrian, so many people in this valley work from home. As we like to say, the valley is a really great place if you can drill your own well, right? If you can operate separately. Previous to COVID, the Valley was a different place, right? And then post-COVID, people are like, oh, I can work from anywhere. I'm going to live in a beautiful place where, like, right now we're in downtown Solvang, and there's people walking around on vacation. We live where people vacation. It's one of the greatest parts about living in this valley. What's your commute like? Is it, how many feet is your commute, right?
That's probably 50 yards.
50 yards, right? And there's
it used to be 2 hours in a car driving to Universal, but
and you went from 2 hours in a car to 50 yards.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm lucky that I still get to do what I do, and I work for the best company in LA, literally the best company, AV Squad.
Yeah,
they've won Industry of the Year like 2 years in a row.
Well, what golden trailers do you own?
I mean, altogether, probably 14 Clios and Golden Trailers combined.
That's unbelievable, man. You're a legend living in the Valley, and nobody knows about it. Now we're putting you on Front Street. You're on blast now.
Yeah, I'm super lucky. I just really love editing and love editing movie trailers.
How long does it take you to edit a 2 hour or an hour and a half long movie down to that punchy 30 seconds that make me want to get up off the couch and go see a movie?
Man, again, it's just different every time. Some movies are tricky. Some movies are straightforward. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I find the more I dislike a movie, the easier it is to cut because it takes all these decision-making things out of it. You're just like, ch-ch-ch-ch. But when you're like editing something like The King's Speech, you're like, what do I do with this? This is all amazing. And somebody's going to get an Academy Award for this. Yeah. And then you have to think about every line, and it's just depend. Every movie's different, and every movie's an adventure. And I like cutting everything, comedy, drama, whatever. It's such a. I love talking about this because it's such a weird facet, right, of a overall diamond of movies. Movies have been around for ages, right? As soon as we can record things moving, we were making movies, right? And if you think of all of the creativity, all of the effort. Right, have you been watching The Studio on Apple? That's so good.
It's such a great show, right?
Well, there's a whole one about trailers. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, you got to see it.
Which episode was it?
I think it's like 6 or something, but I won't say anything because it's my favorite one.
Well, I guess a little inside baseball at that one, right?
Yeah.
So, Adrian, how did you find the Valley? That's a kind of a general question. Anybody who's on the show, because one of the things we want to do with this show is promote the Valley, right? More than anything, this Valley is a very, very special place. This is a local radio show. I mean, we're not streaming this. We're not podcasting this. This is like you have to sit in your car at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning to listen to this, which I think is special, right? Like my return to analog, this is where I'm at, right? How did you find this place?
That's a good question. You're part of it, actually.
Really?
And I'll tell you kind of the nuts and bolts of it. My wife and I read an article in Sunset Magazine a long time ago about Los Olivos.
Yeah.
And before kids and everything.
Yeah.
And do you remember that article? It was a big deal because I don't think anybody.
We were actually up for an award because of that thing.
Were you?
Yeah, which was super funny. Me and my cousin went out to like a pier somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was us against a bunch of other like tasting rooms and stuff like that. And we came in second and we like, screw this, let's leave, right? But I can't believe you read that.
Yeah. So one weekend we're trying to get out of LA, and we got in our car and drove up to Los Olivos, but we were going through Buellton, and we had a map, and we were like, let's go this way. And we hit Ballard Canyon across from HP and started going down that road, and then took a left, and we kind of went down Ballard Canyon real slow. Like, hey, we're in the country. Let's vibe this. And we get to the end at your property, and Alexi was like, pull the car over. And I'm sure a lot of people do that. It's not new to you, but it's pull the car over, park the car, get out, look at how incredibly beautiful this is. Mm-hmm. The vineyards, everything. I mean, if anybody's driven down Ballard Canyon, they know what I'm talking about.
It is the hidden gem of this valley.
It is.
Because the only people who really drive Ballard Canyon are people that are doing things on Ballard Canyon.
Yeah.
Right? It's like me.
Or going to the dump.
Yeah, going to the dump. And you stop by and dump my trash. Thank you. But like every morning I'm out there, it's like the same 10 people. You know, there's the same people walking their dogs. There's the same people that are putting in their miles. There's, you know, Rocco Roberts coming down one direction while I'm going the other direction. We stop and chat, and the Stoltmans and everybody else.
What's the commitment? Well, if you're going to go Ballard, you're going to
Yes.
drive 10 miles an hour,
Yes,
and
you
you're going
are.
to get there 10 minutes late or on time, but it's a windy road, but you can't drive it fast because
No.
it's too beautiful.
No, and if you do drive it too fast, you end up in our vineyard, which happens about once a year. Everybody goes over. But what, you know,
Oh, wait, so let me finish.
Oh, sorry, keep going.
So we parked the car and we're checking it out, and we're, you know, taking pictures.
Yeah.
And my wife said, "How do we live here? How, I don't care what we do, how do we live here?"
It's
Like,
a tale as old as time in the valley,
Yeah.
right?
and of course, you know, with my LA job, was like, you know, this is
Yeah.
probably impossible or whatever. But, you know, it got me thinking, and I never forgot. We went to, I don't remember what Sides was called at the time. It was way back when
Patrick's.
that's Patrick's. Yeah. And there was an article about Patrick's in the Sunset thing.
Yeah.
Went in, had the best duck salad I've ever had. The guy had chickens running around the backyard. You know, it was like, man, this is friggin' cool.
I mean, if for anybody, right? How many years ago was that?
It must have been 2000, 2001, 2002,
Yep.
something like that.
Okay.
And we eventually just found our way back up here after that real initial, like, mind-blowing experience at your property, basically. And I
Yeah.
told that story to Mark Hertel, and he goes, "Yeah, well, when I was a baby, my parents put me next to this well, and it,
Yes.
like,
Yep.
you probably know the story.
Yeah.
better,
Keep
but-
going.
And he just told a story about that little moment in that spot, and everyone who lives here knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. I mean, for me, it's, you know, I spend countless hours, a week in a tractor, right? And I took that over. You know, after my dad passed away, it's kind of my responsibility. I took over that job. And it used to take my dad months to mow the vineyard, and I realized he was on the phone the whole time, and so now I can like knock out the whole vineyard in like 2 days. and for him, it
You
was
had to
taking.
find out who he was talking to.
Yeah, no, but it was he was just calling people. Like if anybody would jump to his mind, he'd stop and he'd call him. That's just who he was, right? And he would always bring up the fact that he would pull me aside like one day. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "Oh, I was mowing all day and this and that." And I'm like, "Great." And he goes, 12. I go, "What do you mean 12?" He goes, 12 people stopped. And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "That's a record." He goes, 12 people, 12 different cars, like driving that road or somewhere else.
Take a picture.
Stop and take a picture. You know, that vineyard really, you know, I always think of myself as a steward or just someone taking care of it, right? Because it belongs to everybody else. And you know, I constantly tell people on that, you know, the tours that it's probably, you know, without a doubt, it's the most photographed vineyard in Santa Barbara County.
It has to be. And if you Google Los Olivos, that picture has to come up.
It comes up
you
a
know.
lot. Yeah. It's a very, very special place. So you found this place, you figured out how to move here. You moved here. How old were your kids at the time?
5 and 7 or something like that.
And they were all in. Everybody's ready
they had to
rock.
learn how to play outside, which was kind of crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, because we lived in a 2,800 square foot lot
Yeah.
in Venice for many years, and you know, it wasn't a place that you could just run out and go play. We would go to the beach, of course, but you know,
that was always the thing for me. Like when we moved here full time 20 some years ago, it was to raise kids. It really was. And I think there's a lot of people in this valley that's their main goal. It's like, where do you want to raise your kids? I would like to raise them here. I mean, Sean Cassidy said it really well, that this valley, the thing that it does really well, it gives kids another 4 years to be a kid.
Yeah.
Right. Because the things I was doing in junior high, you know, the kids are waiting until high school a little bit.
Yeah.
But it really grows great kids, and you have a brood of them, so they're amazing people.
Super lucky. We all have awesome kids. It's really cool to see them grow up.
We are very lucky. So you found this place. You made the big jump. You moved up here, and I mean, what has happened in the last, let's say 20 some years now, right? It's like you've been a fixture in this valley. I see you everywhere. You know, it's like if I go somewhere or some party or whatever, it's like, oh, thank God Adrian's
There's
here.
that
Someone,
guy.
yeah, I have someone to talk to, right? What kept you here? I mean, that's a better question.
Man, just everything. I think when I first moved up here, I realized, coming from Georgia, just country nights with bonfires and hanging with your friends on the weekends, just
Georgia Thunder.
Yeah, Georgia Thunder. But there's something about this place that kind of reminds me of home because I come from kind of a small town.
Yeah.
A little bit like the size of Santa Barbara, but it's country.
Yeah.
And I decided I wanted to be in a place where my car or truck tires touch dirt twice a week. And this place is that place.
That is an absolutely beautiful way to describe the valley. I mean, 100% correct. I mean, if you look around, speaking of cars, Cash and I always thought it was, if you want to see a car, right? If they do debut a new car, right? The Cybertruck or the new Volkswagen bus, right? We'll see it here first. Like that weekend, a car gets, unveiled or whatever. Somebody's in that car driving up here. And if you sit by the flagpole and say Los Olivos, or you're on 246 or wherever you are at, right? It is the greatest car show of all time, right? Where you could see a Ferrari and then a flatbed truck and then a Honda Civic that's clapped out and the muffler's being held on by like a wire. And then right behind that is a Bentley or a cattle truck. Or
it's like a Porsche Spider the other day. I think that car's like $1 million.
Right. And then, but this valley, I mean, you sit around long enough, like where you're saying like the dirt touching your tires, right?
Yeah.
If that's an important thing to you, this is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Totally.
So still, what are you doing today? You're still cutting trailers?
Working, going to pick up my son from high school. He's not driving yet, but he will be soon. You know where that is.
Yeah, Cash is behind the wheel now. It's pretty. It's a bittersweet to me because it's like Cash and I would go to coffee every single morning over at Good Seed and hang out and have our time together. And honestly, he turned 16 but didn't get his license in a while because we would drive to school every day and it was kind of like our hangout time. And he was like, okay. And
I want to drive with Dad more.
Yeah, I want to drive with Dad more. And now that Brielle came back from college, Cash went, I need to get my license because that's my truck. And if I'm not driving, she's going to steal that truck. And so I have to get this thing going.
It's so funny how boys' minds work.
Oh yeah, it's totally. So what are you working on right now? What show, what movie, anything? Can you talk about it?
Can't really talk about it, but I do have a funny story about a trailer.
That
I cut a while ago. That happens to be one of my favorite trailers. Do we have time?
Yeah, plenty of time.
Working at AV Squad a while back, I cut this trailer for this movie called Killer Joe.
Okay.
It's with Matthew McConaughey, Gina Gershon, a bunch of great actors, and the director is William Friedkin.
Okay.
And being a movie freak, I was like, I'm cutting a trailer for Billy Friedkin. This is crazy.
That's awesome.
Director of The Exorcist, French Connection. So I threw everything at it. And this movie, they called it Hicksploitation.
Okay.
It was kind of a wild film, but I just kind of sunk my teeth into it.
Yeah.
We sent William Friedkin the first V1 of the trailer, and my friend Scotty's at Fox now, but he has an email still somewhere that's like, whoever cut this trailer understands my movie.
Ooh.
And that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what I kind of do this thing for.
Yeah.
Is the people that I admire actually getting to work with them or work for them on the side.
Yeah.
Throwing you a bone like that, it's pretty cool.
I mean, what you really do is maybe you didn't build the present, but you definitely wrap the package.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And getting someone like me, like anybody listening to this, off the couch, which is, as I like to describe, the valley is a velvet gutter, right? Yeah. It's like once you get here, it is pretty comfy and it's pretty hard to leave. And it's pretty hard to I'm going to drive to Santa Maria to go see this movie, right? But the fact that, what you're doing, I find to be an art form, right? And
it's important.
I do think so.
It makes people smile and adds joy to their day or whatever.
Yeah. And the fact that you're taking something that, a big blockbuster movie or something that's coming out, and you're like, okay, my job is to get every single person watching this to go see it. How am I going to do that? And figuring out that puzzle based upon all of the the scenes that you have, the things you can cut together, and then you send what you made, your little. I don't mean little in a negative way, but I mean this short story, and then you're sending it to the director, right? And the director is looking at it and saying,
sometimes like on indie movies, yeah,
for
sure. I mean, a lot of times the director is watching it, but most of the time you're working for a studio who's kind of in control of the marketing. And when they've kind of crafted something that they think is going to be a successful piece, then they send it to whoever.
Right.
You know, the producers of the film.
Yeah, I've been watching studio. I know how this works now.
And then so that's when you hold your breath.
Right.
And if you get through that level, then you're good.
So right now, could there be 2 or 3 people all cutting different trailers together for the same movie, and you guys are all kind of competing against each other?
Yeah, they call it triple vending, or multiple vending. You always are competing against another editor. Sometimes 5, sometimes 6 editors, all cutting the same thing. Depends on the movie budget. Sometimes it's just you. A lot of times it's you against someone else. So you always have to bring it every time.
So I got to ask you 2 questions. 1, what is your favorite trailer you've ever cut? And then 2, what is your favorite movie?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
My favorite trailer I ever cut was for an independent film, Korean horror film called I Saw the Devil.
Yeah. I've seen it.
It's pretty good. I won some awards for that, but John Wick is right behind it, and then Killer Joe. So those are the 3 that I watch, and it brings a smile to my face.
Awesome. And what's your favorite? What's the movie that if you could go out today and cut the trailer for, what would be that movie?
The Shining.
The Shining. Really?
Yeah, that's my favorite film.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why do you like The Shining?
I saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
And it really scared me in the best way.
Yeah.
So, it just stuck with me. It's like when you smell burnt toast, like in the film.
Yeah. So do you, when you watch that movie, right? You know the lore behind that movie, right?
I know a lot of it. I've seen documentaries about the making of it, and like Stanley Kubrick and with the Steadicam and all that stuff. It's really cool.
It is that movie is I'm a big fan of that movie as well, and the interesting aspects of it as all the people that have watched that movie since then, and then the lore behind him, filming the moon landings or faking it or whatever, and then he made a movie that's kind of about him not apologizing, but him kind of doing a mea culpa about, hey, I actually did this, and then put a bunch of stuff inside of that movie. So if you watch it long enough, you're like,
well, he filmed Barry Lyndon with lenses he got from NASA, and that's how he lit the whole film with candles.
Whoa. What?
So moon landing kind of asked a conversation. Yes. He used lenses he got from NASA because they were big enough to be wide enough to film with just candlelight for Barry Lyndon. And so he wasn't with NASA somehow involved, and I think that it fixed them to a Panavision or something. I'm not a DP, but this is like true film lore.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is 100% real.
If you watch Barry Lyndon, you're like,
this is breaking. By the way, this is breaking stories right now. Just so you know,
everybody knows about this, but if you watch the movie, it's so beautiful. It's like a Monet painting.
Every frame, that was the movie that I think turned me on Instagram. It's like every scene of painting or every frame of painting or something like that.
And he lit the whole thing. There wasn't a single light in that film. He lit it with candles and natural light because he got a lens attached to a Panavision from NASA. And that's how he did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Chopping It Up with Keith Saarloos and Adrian Kays dropping bombshells about that Stanley Kubrick actually filmed the moon landing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a perfect place to stop.
Right
I love it. So Adrian, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You were an absolute lovely human being. I always loved being around you. I always look forward to seeing you. Thanks for coming in and sharing a little bit about your life on Chopping It Up.
Anytime, man.
And now this is Keith Saarloos saying thank you for joining us on Chopping It Up on Crazy Country 105.9. I can't believe they gave me a show. And back to your regularly scheduled programming.